So this video will discuss when scientists create dogs, and we will talk about the Dogo Argentino, which came from the Martinez brothers, which had a father being a physician, and also one of the brothers was a veterinarian, DVM. We will also talk about the German Yacht Terrier, which was also created by scientists to make a very good hunting dog and geneticist. And we will talk about the American Sentinel Canine, which was developed also by a veterinarian, namely Lee Robinson. And to start with the best, I like all these three breeds. They are very purpose bred and also very powerful for their size, and a good competitor within the class that they operate, and running with the best pure breeds. The American Sentinel Canine is still the most in development. The other two are even FCE registered, which makes them one of the best FCE registered breeds that are currently available if you're looking for a working dog. So I will walk you through the development of these three dog breeds, but also point you towards some of the drawbacks they encountered and could be these encounters and even faults could be prevented by the knowledge that we have now, and perhaps they also could have done a little bit better, but that is not the big deal, because they solved it in the end, most of it at least. So starting with the Martinez brothers developing the Dogo Argentino, they had a vision of an all-white great hunter, especially of wild boar and mountain lion, puma, and they already had very good material to start with, being the Cordoba fighting dog, which was capable in itself to do those feats, but was not that good working together with other dogs, and also had not the good amount of scent that they wanted in that type of dog. Also was a little bit more on the heavy side. If you look at the nowadays show Dogo Argentinos, they are even heavier than that Cordoba fighting dog. So, all things being said, there's a reverse evolution. Now the Dogo Argentino is a shoulder breed. But okay, let's put that things aside. So they had a vision of an all-white dog, and therefore they also introduced quite a lot of all-white dogs also to the mix. For example, one being the Pyrenean mountain dog. So it's a Pyrenean Mastiff, we also call them, but they are livestock protection breeds, so different like the war Mastiffs that we also know. So the Dogo Argentino was made up with white dogs. Also one of the dogs that they used was an English Bull Terrier. They also used some Bulldog blood, and I think they made good choices. For example, the Cordoba fighting dog, but also bad choices. One of being is the English Bull Terrier that brought a lot of deafness into the gene pool that they used. Another, they solved that problem for a big part by introducing new Bull Terrier blood to still breed them through and have a different source of genetic material to solve it. There are so many breeds into the Dogo Argentino, which is also in my opinion a fault. Bringing so many breeds is very hard to get a dog that really functions as you want. If you use two breeds and perhaps a third to catalyze or to fixate a specific height, as they do in many band dog programs, this is often the best. Okay, with that being said, they also used Pyrenean mountain dog, which is a long-coated type of dog and that they had to solve for. and also used a little bit of Irish Wolfhound, a big game hunter in its days. But the thing, the most prominent fault they made, in my opinion, is that they believed the description, the hype of the breeds. So, for example, if once Irish Wolfhound was a very good big game hunter, they introduced it. If they thought that a dog would be a good dog, depending on the description, and also was a show winning type of dog, an aesthetic show winning type of dog, in this case they used it. They also used the boxer, which already had a flattened nose and was once a dog that also handled cows like the bulldog also, that they also used, which also was already a caricature of the real bulldog. They should have used the real bulldogs, being the American Pit Bull Terrier or the Bull and Terriers in England that were still being used to work and fight. Those were better dog candidates to use. And they might have thought that they already had quite some with the Cordoba fighting dog, which of course was already a mix of between Mastiffs and fighting dogs, Bull and Terriers. But that's more of a band dog that they already had, but they moved away from that strength. And also dogs like the Dalmatian and etc. Some individuals can work very well, but as a breed they are not that fantastic anymore. So that's quite a pity. Had they used just American Pit Bull Terrier blood and running dog, for example Greyhound, and a little bit of Cordoba fighting dog, or another breed that brings a little bit more scent if needed, I think they would have been done and they would have made a better product. Also, if you look now at the modern Dogo Argentino still being worked, they're quite heavily infused with this bull grey, so the cross between American Pit Bull Terrier and Greyhound, because Greyhound gives them more speed, more endurance, and American Pit Bull Terrier also gives them good endurance and athletic capability, but more important, they bring a lot of courage. So they had quite some troubles to making all the show breeds capable of working, because they were bred down and not that good. They also made some good choices. They bred in dogs that are really ferocious and really strong, and even one dog at least of real fighting pedigree next to the Cordoba fighting dog to help solve these problems. So they did things well as well, and the result is from the purebred dogs one of the best wild boar hunters available. But if you nowadays look at what many hunters prefer, being bull grey, you see what I mean, that you could have made it a lot better. Also in Australia they have developed a bull Arab, also with running dog and a little bit of Mastiff or English Bull Terrier or the likes. And why did they use English Bull Terrier? You might say, okay, that is a protection also for the Martinez brothers, why they relied so heavily on English Bull Terrier, because American Pit Bull Terrier was long times prohibited breed in Australia. And another thing is, English Bull Terriers are oftentimes a little less dog aggressive than the game bred Bull Terriers, American Pit Bull Terriers for example. But they are a funny type of dogs. Even if they are not game bred for a long period of time, they can become very dominant as well. So it's a little bit hit or miss. Hope this quite helps. Now move on to the next one.